Alright, Nestlings, welcome back. Now it's time to move on to section 2, which is going to be the calendar section of this planner. We've got to make everything from scratch, so we've pulled the pages out, and I was trying to measure it, but to use the Happy Planner monthly stickers, but I just didn't think that was going to happen since I was going to put this monthly page on one page rather than on two. I just wouldn't be able to make the squares big enough. So I measured everything out, and then I counted how many squares of graph we had, and then I put my lines in. And now something that I noticed is that I overshot it a little bit and made it a little bit too long. And I estimated on the size of the actual days for the little rectangles that I'm making. And once again, realized that I had actually overshot on the size. So my calendar ended up being smaller than I thought it was going to be, which was actually okay because it allows for me to be able to put a good amount of decorative stuff in the actual calendar and around the actual calendar. So that's actually kind of nice. So now I'm actually inking it in, which I didn't do for the last one, but I wanted to get this done fully. I used a black ink Joy gel and just completely inked in the grid for the calendar, and then I used a Sharpie pen to write the days of the week on the top, and then to kind of play on the rainbow, I used mild liners in 7 different colors and did a rainbow over the days of the week. And then I just dated it using a Sharpie pen as well. So now what I was doing is I was looking for a sticker that I could use to mark off my trip or my actual vacation across multiple days, and I used these little scallop headers out of the Happy Planner Bright book. And then we have some days of the month that are not a part of April, and there's these long, really skinny washi strips in the Brights book, and I was able to use like 4 of them and fill in those days, and then use what was left over to fill in the first box of the calendar that was not being used. Now that page said Happy Notes. I needed to cover it up, so I used a sticker that says Live Colorfully Babe, and then a header of gold foil stars. Now I thought it would be fun to mark Easter, but I had put some of the excess like really thin washi on Easter, and I didn't like the way that it looked with the sticker, so I had to replace it with a gold foil sticker and got rid of those little extra pieces. Now we added in from the Dates and Holidays book April 2019 so that we know what month it is. And then I'm just flipping through different books just trying to see what I can use, and I found this nice awesome party sticker, which is going to be great to mark the 501st bash that is happening during Star Wars Celebration. So I put that over on the side. Then I grabbed a sticker that says Attitude is Everything, just to remind myself to not get caught up in things during the convention, because it can happen and you end up having an attitude that you probably shouldn't have because you get cranky. And then some clear stickers of some little stars on either side. And then I tried taking this box sticker and creating a little heart out of it, but I just didn't like the way that it turned out with the color scheming, and so I ended up going to my paper pack that I bought, and I punched several little hearts and just got my tape runner and glued them down just to add a little bit more pizzazz. And now we have our calendar page. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the information for the 501st bash, which is happening during Star Wars Celebration. So now we have to make our weekly pages, and I was going to do 2 weekly pages, and so now it's time to measure. And I simply just measured another Happy Planner page of the days and just made a big box with pencil, and I did the same thing on both pages. because this will be a two-page spread like you would have in a regular Happy Planner. And then I had to figure out how far apart the columns were going to be, which was about 1.5 inches. And so I made my marks so that I could make those columns. And what I ended up with was actually 4 days on one side and 3 days on the other, because I eliminated the sidebar that typically would be on that side. And so when I realized I didn't need that extra day, I figured, well, I'll put the sidebar on the right-hand page instead. And so since we have a second week that I want to be able to have a spread in this planner for the week before to get ready, and then the week of. And so that's why I have to make 2 weeks. And so that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm making the second week. But one of the things that I do notice further down is that because the convention goes to Monday of the week following this, luckily I have enough of that extra space where I would have a sidebar on the right hand page that I can actually add in an extra day to cover that Monday. And so you'll see me do that a little bit further into the video. But I am just getting everything set, and now we've got to ink it in. So I grab my Inkjoy gel and my ruler, and I draw in those lines. I don't go back and get rid of the pencil lines, because that's just too much drama for me. So I just draw over those pencil lines so that I have the days of the week done. Now, we will have an issue because the pages do say Happy Notes at the top, and so we're going to have to find a way to cover that. Normally I would probably just use whiteout, but I actually don't have my whiteout with me, so I had to get creative. So in the Happy Planner Brights book, there are days of the week stickers, and so I decided to do the week before the event in black, and I just tried to center the words over the columns, and so some of the sticker kind of overlapped each other, but I made sure it didn't go past the edges of the spread itself, so that the stickers, I did trim them off. And so then for the second week I decided to use a blue, and same thing, just trim them off and just centered the words over each of the columns. So now I grabbed the Dates and Holidays book because there are these really cute, colorful dates, and I was filling in the dates. Now, initially I did not do the dates over where it says Happy Notes because I knew I had to cover those dates up, or cover up the Happy Notes part in order to lay the dates down. So those stay off for a little while. And here's where I realized that I need Monday. And I grabbed another header sticker that says Monday but in a different color and laid it down so that I know that's going into the next week, so it is a little bit different. So now I'm putting the pages back into the actual planner itself. Now I have some half sheets and some bookmarks. So each week is going to get a daily schedule so I can break down the actual schedule for that week. And I decided to use these cute little date stickers on the daily schedule since it does need to be dated. And I put Monday on the back, Monday the 15th. And then I have these half sheets that are this week's goals, and so I put one of those in each week. And then in the second week, which is the week of the convention, I have these half sheets that say today with top 3 and tomorrow. And so those are going to be for some really in-depth planning for the 5 days of the convention. So I had this idea to use these sticky notes because they are white and my tape runner to actually cover up where it says Happy Notes. And so I had to run the tape runner and just do a whole bunch of little trimming with different pieces of these sticky notes for this little white paper and just stick it down over the Happy Notes section for each of these. And I was able to cover it all up and make it look nice and then be able to lay those dates down for the dates that were missing. And I'm so glad that I got to do that because I didn't want to have to go back and do that later, and I was able to just get it done now all at one time. So basically what you're seeing here is the creation of a Happy Planner spread. Once it gets closer, I will actually do plan with me's on these spreads, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. So if you're following along with this journey of making the most epic Comic-Con planner of all time, then I hope these videos are helpful. I know this one went a little bit quickly, but that was on purpose because I was doing so much of just drawing lines to measure out. So take a look at these pictures right here, and you can see an in-depth view of everything that I did. Here's the calendar, and you can see the mile liner to highlight the days and all of that. So now we are looking at the actual weekly spread. So you can see the columns and their width and the headers at the top and what they look like with the dates and those half sheets for the daily schedule as well. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Please make sure you leave any comments, tips, or tricks or suggestions down below, and I will be sure to answer you. And I hope you're getting ready for Star Wars Celebration if you're going. If you're not going and you're going to another convention of some sorts, I hope this gives you some inspiration of some things that you can do. So thank you for joining me, and may the Force be with you. Oh yeah, remember to subscribe because you might miss the next video.